Private company feeding us GMO foods, they wanting us trapped. My young boy just came home for a booting, that young nigga tapped. Can't be slipping when I'm puffing on a potent, silent but I stay strapped. Gave her wood, now she talking about family tree, you know it ain't that. Ain't got time for the bad bees, dog, I got money on mine. Watch my chain too long, had me nervous, I put money on your mind. The Cali be potent, that girl is a bogus, I can't risk my seed.
Wow, go on, my fellow airsofters. So we are back with another video. I told you guys season 5 is gonna be blood clot lit, so I'm trying to basically deliver that. I hope you guys been well. I hope you guys are looking after yourself, sleeping, eating well. I did promise this one, so I'm gonna try and bang this one quickly out the way because my boy is due to come and collect his bad boy very shortly, in about 30-40 minutes. So I'm gonna try and bang this with you quick. But I spoke a lot about this gun. What this gun is, the sa-A03. It's basically like meant to be a custom edition version of a Specna arm, similar to how Vosk do the two-tone color thing, but not two-tone as in like no Yukara two-tone, like two-tone as in like custom type color / gun, if you get what I mean. So yeah, so like this bad boy came earlier. I was half asleep when the delivery guy came. Like you can see, it's a beautiful gun. It's not actually polymer, apart from I think there's a couple polymer parts on there, but majority of the gun is actually metal. It's quite a decent weight. One thing I do like about this gun that I will say is like you know, sometimes you buy, I remember when I first came into airsoft, I had a HO2, I think that's what it was, a HO2, SA-HO2 from Specna Arms. And one thing I will say is like, I like a metal gun, but I like a metal gun that is not too heavy. One thing I will say about this has weight. It lets you know if you drop me, I will be safe. I'm sturdy enough, but it has a nice balanced weight so that you can tuck around corners and throw the gun, or even like pass the gun to your mate via throwing it, if you get what I mean, and stuff like that. So that's one thing I will say. Weight ratio is pretty good. I will say the front row is quite considerably heavy, but that's just where the whole thing is metal. I'd have to check what metal it is. So straight off top, I'm going to show you guys around the gun, speak over it quickly. It's an AEG, so it's an electric M4 style rifle. Like I said, it is a long barrel, quite a long barrel. It reminds me of my G&G barrel. It's a different fitting though, so this gun you will need a lot of Allen keys and screws for, whereas with the G&G you can literally just pop a bolt and you're calm. But if you can see, I'm not sure if you can see and how well you guys can see, but Allen keys alongside, and then there's like another Allen key there, and then there on the other side, as well as the two on that side, just so you guys can see. And that will remove your rail. What else? It comes with 2 sights, which I think was pretty cool. Like most guns come with sights, but these ones are quality ones. Like for example, I don't know if you guys can see, that's your front sight, and then that's your back sight, which is quite cool. You might think, oh, that back circle one doesn't make sense, but earlier I was trying it out and I found that you could literally, if they're both up, what you get is kind of like a cross effect where you're looking through the back one, but you're seeing the little line or the little arrow from the front one, which is pretty cool, because you'd think that hole is so small that you wouldn't really get much from it, but you'd be very much quite surprised. Give me 2 seconds, because I'm struggling. I need my glasses. I need my glasses, my poor eyes and all this light. But yeah, so where do we go? Like, it's an M4 rifle, it's affordable. Standardly they do sell them for about $350, $400 at a push. I managed to grab this off one of my boys. Well, tell a lie, it depends where you buy it from, because I've seen this rifle up for $250, $300 as well. So it just depends where you buy it from. But what my boy did was he bought the body and bought the internals of a different gun, and basically didn't end up putting it together in the end. So I ended up buying it off him, so that man like Georgie boy can have an M4 rifle when we go and play. So yeah, this one's for Georgie. So all I had to do was basically chuck the gearbox in the gun, screw everything together, test that it works, and then boom, here it is ready for him to use. It didn't even take too long. That's one thing I will say for those of you who are like panicky about doing this. Like, if you ever want this kind of work done, you can shout the channel, or there are some good texts that I can refer you to that I've met on my journey. So yeah, straight at the top, it has a charging handle. And if you notice, it's open the side grip. Charging handle is pretty cool. It is functional. So for example, if I click this button here, it closes the handle. I'll show you one more time. So I'm going to click that button on that side, and then it closes it. I'll show you one more time. It's actually a cool function because most M4s don't function that way. It looks like it functions that way, but it doesn't. So I'm literally just clicking this button down, and it closes that, and then you can close that, and then if you charge that one more time, it goes through the whole process again. Release, and then you can close that. You obviously have your and I'll spin it around so it makes more sense. Yeah, just so you guys can see, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then you have access to your hop up to turn up or down. You have your mag release, which is also in red. You have your trigger, which is also in red. That's on safe, and it's got no mag in it. Plus I'm wearing protective glasses, which is why I went for my actual glasses, because they have magnifiers on it so I can see. You have a rail thing at the back. This is normally where you attach your sling to. You have that clicky button. This isn't actually functional from what I've seen. I've had a quick play with it. It doesn't seem to do anything, if I'm to be honest. So yeah, but it's there and it's in red. What else can I show you guys? The fire selector is also in red. Safe, semi, and auto. And then semi, and then safe. And semi, and auto. It does feel pretty nice. Sometimes with these fire selectors, you can get them where they're way too firm, and then sometimes you can get them where they're stiff, should I say. They're way too stiff, like it's so hard to turn it. And then sometimes you can get them where they're too loose, where they're just sliding even when you don't want them into auto. So this one is a nice feel. I feel like over time it will wear and tear. I can feel that maybe after 2-3 years it will start getting that quick slide thing that I'm talking about. But yeah, it is a good build one. Yeah, it is a good build one. It's nice enough. It's like not enough retention, but a decent amount of retention, basically. Good gun. It does feel nice in the hand, especially for the price. What else can I show you guys? It has an adjustable stock, so similar to most stocks on the M4 or AR style rifles. You're just literally squeezing this little bit at the back, and you can pull and adjust as you please. And then it has its chambers underneath that it connects into. You can also take this stock off. I'm not sure if it's wise for me to do it right now, because I've literally just put the battery in it. But it's very simple. You're literally just pulling this forward, like you can see that movement. So I'm pulling that forward, and then it will slide all the way off. I'm not going to do it right now, just because I've currently put a battery in there, just so that you guys can hear it fire. What else can I show you guys? It comes, the pop-up looks like a standard one. It looks like the one that comes in an LT35 from Lancer Tactical. However, I would have to have a more in-depth look, because where it's got a longer barrel attached to it, that might not be the case. It might be from the same range, but just a different family off that range, if you get what I mean. So where the one in the LT35 might be like a Gen 6, this might be a Gen 7 where it's got the longer barrel. Plus it's made for Specna arms, but most airsoft stuff tend to be interchangeable, so that might also be the case where it's interchangeable. Okay, so my battery has fallen out by accident, so I'm gonna actually show you guys how to take this off. So you literally pull that all the way back, and then it just sluts off. You have access to your battery. So that's one way to put your battery in. Another way to put it in would be, I'll just show you guys quickly, because it's not very hard, and you don't have to manhandle the gun. So you pull that back down like I'm doing, and then you can slide it back forwards, which also gives you access to the battery cable. And what you can do, I've got just a standard ASG battery. These are pretty good. I'm not going to do too much promotion for them. I'm not getting paid. But what we'll do is we'll chuck that in. what comes in a box? So what standardly would come in a box, even though this one didn't come with a box, would be an indoor spring, which I find pretty cool, because what Specna arms do is they allow you to quick change the spring in the back of the unit, but I'll do that in another video, maybe when we're upgrading George's, when Georgie Boy wants to upgrade this spring, maybe that's what we'll do. We'll shoot that video just so you guys can see what. So yeah, so this is your indoor spring. I'm not sure the measurement, and it would have been nicer if they put the measurement on here, but the box is good quality. You feel like you're buying something that is worth it, if you get what I mean. So big up Specna arms for that. What also comes in the box is a high cap mag. So it is a windy one. Windy. Obviously I don't want to keep winding because I've already winded earlier, which means that the BBs that I loaded it with will just keep pinging out because the retention on the spring is so high. Outside of that, and it does feel good quality, part plastic, like polymer and stuff, and then there's some other kind of metal on it. Does feel pretty good. Does sit in the gun pretty nice as well. The only thing is that shaky sound does get to me, so I would advise some mid-cap mags. But yeah, and I did do a shooting test with it earlier. It straight out the top, out the box, it shot very well. Well, I say straight out of the box, I put it together, so I did make a few adjustments, but it did shoot very well. The mag seemed to work very well. The retention on the actual spring was really good. I feel like I would have said this high cap mag came better than my G&G's high cap mag, because it took me a second to kind of get to grips with that mag, whereas straight away this mag just worked straight out the box. What am I saying? It's a good gun, very good gun. Comes with a manual, and it comes with, you know, Specna arms. They love to send us stickers. So it comes with a little sticker set that you can take off and add to your phone, or add to your desk, or add to your wall or your wardrobe, or even like your gun case would be a good place for that. So manual is actually a pretty good one, and it is it in English? That's such a good point. It isn't in English, is it? Yeah, it's not in English, unfortunately. Might need to get a translator. It's in Spanish, France, and I'm not sure what that last one is. But yeah. So yeah, I'll show you guys quickly. So to take off the battery slot, there's normally a little unit. So let me tuck that back in there quickly. There's normally a little unit that covers here. So you'd slide that back on here. I'm not going to do it right now, I'll do it afterwards. So you slide that back on here, and then after that's on there, then you'd use this little pincer head. And obviously you see there's a top slot that slots into this top unit right here. And then there's two bottom slots and two bottom slots on here that would hinge on there, and then it would sit in. So yeah, in terms of loading the gun, I've already showed you how the mags work. Like, it comes standardly with a pull across, so you fill at the top, wind the bottom, and then with this it might look a bit harder on here, but it's not that hard. Like, even when I done it earlier, I was like, oh, it's not as bad as people think with these kind of stocks, because sometimes these stocks can be a nightmare. But the trick is always have them all the way back, don't have them out, because obviously your wire is further away. So you literally just want to connect these two connectors, the one from the gun and the one from there. Be careful of where your wires are, and be aware of pulling wires away from where they're meant to be, because you don't want a short. That is not something you want. So as much as it looks like I'm struggling right now, I'm struggling because I'm taking my time. There we are, we're in. So what I tend to do with these kind of stocks is, because they're so tight, I tend to push down the middle, not too hard, because you don't want to do any damage, and then they'll just slide in. And then right here in that midsection, I tend to push in, because then your wires are away from being pinched. So as you see I'm doing, I pushed that midsection where the two clips were, so that sits in there, and then the wires I push along here and along there. Yeah, then this would go back in here. Got it the wrong way. that would go back in here. This sometimes can be a tight squeeze because if you don't have it the right way on, it won't go on. So make sure it's the right way. There's always the thick bit. I don't know if you guys can see on the cam. There's like a thick layer right there, and then it goes thin. You always want the thin sides at the bottom and a thick one at the top. And then you push that in, and if you notice, it's nice and flush and my wires aren't catching. Then you take this bad boy, like I said, you want to line it up so the top is with the top and then the two bottom bits are with the two bottom bits. And then you just want to push, almost have it at an angle, because that has a lip. So if you try and push it in, it won't work. You have to have it angled up. So angled up, yeah? So I'm going to angle it up and then boom. Nice and flush. Yeah? Nice and flush, ready to go for the field. Now I have the ability to make that stock longer if I want to. Yeah? So I'm gonna give it a couple shots so you guys can hear it, and then we're gonna call that review a day. I feel like we've been able to do this gun review quite quickly, but it's because my boy needs to come and collect his gun, so I don't want to take too long. But straight off top, what I would rate this gun is, like, if you're coming into the field as a new game player, defo buy one of these. It's affordable, it does the job. And if I'm to be honest, like, it's a good build. So this gun could fall out your hands. You'd pick it up, yeah, your mag might be damaged, but the rest of the gun would be retained in a good shape and format. So it is something I would recommend. In terms of rating it, it's a bit hard right now, because as a rating I'd have to rate it as like an unboxing / a buy / affordability, as opposed to firing and everything included. But straight off the top, I'd probably rank it very high, 8.5, maybe 9, just for a beginner. Though if you're talking about a mid-range user, I'd probably rate it a bit lower, maybe like a 7.5, because I feel like this is the HO2's big brother. And it probably is, because it's the HO3. I feel like it's lighter, the weight ratio is better, the gearbox sounds slightly better. It sounds like the gearbox that's when it fires, should I say, not the gearbox, but when it fires, it sounds like my LT35 with the upgrades that I've done to it. So that says a lot, because I've done £200-300 worth of upgrades to my LT35 to get it to where it is, whereas this comes for about £300 straight out the box. Well, the standard version does, and they're roughly around the same mark. So value for money, it is a damn good gun. Let's flick it off safety and let's hear it fire, and we'll see how I feel about it. What I do need to do is be careful though, because obviously I've just put, well, let me take out the mag and fire it without the mag, because yeah, I'm not trying to get shot. Like, I'm too close to my target. That would definitely ping back and hurt me. So yeah, safety first, guys. Always safety first. One thing I do also want to show you quickly before I start firing is, there's a BB I shot out of it earlier. If you have a look at the BB, look at it, damaged. So defo only shoot high quality BBs out of this gun, because you will get things that look like this if you're not.
Ego tripping, think different and let go of the ego tripping. Think different and let go of the ego tripping. Think different, think different. Working 6 to 2 to pay some ish that's overdue. Meditate on past actions, ish I had to do. Working 6 to 2 to pay some ish that's overdue. Meditate on past actions, ish I had to do. Private company feeding us GMO foods, they wanting us trapped. My young boy just came home for a booting, that young nigga tapped. Can't be slipping when I'm puffing on a potent, silent but I stay strapped. Gave her wood, now she talking about family tree, you know it ain't that. Ain't got time for the bad bees, dog, I got money on mine. Watch my chain too long, have me nervous, I put money on your mind. The Cali be potent, that girl is a bogus, I can't risk my seed. My heart too low, took L's like fug. Big slime soon free. Had to drop cause the fans they keep asking. You drop trash, had the fans all laughing. Disappeared and I brother grown, we conversate, I ain't preaching. Roll some loud, talk some life, hold his mouth when I'm speaking. I had trauma about my childhood plus how I grew. I had trauma about my exes plus things they do. Ayy, ayy, look what I did to shine, ayy, ayy.